All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith, here once again with my buddy Chuck. Not John yet. John is still... He said the Uber driver had a radar detector. Or did he just say radar?
I'm not paying attention to texts anymore from Burr.
That's a...
Hey now, by the way.
Oh, that's the voice of Chuck, as you probably know. Chuck wearing a upsetting t-shirt?
Sure.
I don't know. Is that it's a mouse committing suicide?
It's
Or he's contemplating suicide with the pistol resting at his temple.
Right. It's an artist I don't know the name of. And then they took it and branded it and put death to snakes and squealers.
Oh.
Is it snakes or
Very intensely.
rats and squealers?
Death to rats and
Rats,
squealers.
that makes sense.
You were wearing that in honor of the Mueller report coming
That's
out.
it.
No rats, no squealers.
No rats, no
You
squealers.
do not talk to the FBI.
Never.
That's Chuck's worldview.
That's it. Don't talk. No, I think everyone should squeal on Donald Trump.
Oh.
They should be snitching on Trump all day.
Yeah.
He's the one person that deserves to be snitched on.
Yeah, he's not.
I'm not calling the cops on the dude selling
I did
bags
see,
on the corner, but
right. I did see a newspaper article from like 35 years ago that I've never seen before. I don't remember ever seeing it. That was Donald Trump saying he stopped a mugging. And the whole story is like, you wouldn't expect a billionaire to pull over and stop it, and it's like none of this happened.
No.
But it was just the paper when
Yeah.
they were like, Donald Trump, he instructed his limo driver to pull over, and he said, I'm going to take care of these fellas.
yeah.
Like, there's no way.
He's the first rich kid with a publicist. He's the
That's
proto
that's
Kardashian.
definitely not true.
Well, I think in the 80s probably.
Yeah. Well.
Like he was the first one in New
don't
York to
remember it.
manipulate him.
So while John slowly gets here with his radar driving, he said, he had the Uber driver had a radar detector, but was driving very slowly and was going a very terrible way. Which again, if you know John, he doesn't know how to get anywhere on his own.
Right.
So this morning, Chuck.
So John might show up by iShop.
He might show up. But I wanted to ask you about this, Chuck. Your kid's 5.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys ever do the Easter egg hunts? Is he
No.
ever in like a school
Well,
Easter
I
egg
mean,
hunt
he's-
or like a?
So he's got 2 lives. He's got his mom's
Right,
side.
right.
They're very Christian and very proper.
Uh-huh.
And then he comes to me and I play Wu-Tang.
But I didn't know
And
if you were ever if you ever had just like a community center Easter egg hunt type thing.
I'm not into that.
Okay, so
His
my
mom, I'm sure he's done them.
right. So Easter egg hunts with the young ones are very fun. Like the 2-year-olds, because there's no competition.
Right.
There's no feeling of loss when someone else gets an Easter egg.
Right.
It's all just amazement.
Uh-huh.
They're just wandering around. So my 18-month-old girl is just picking up the Easter eggs at her daycare, and she just says egg. And puts it in her bucket. It's beautiful. It's like a wonderful.
It is beautiful.
It's like this is why you have kids. You have a
Right.
1-year-old wandering around picking up egg.
Right.
And he puts it in the bucket. You're like, oh, this is great. But then like I don't like it when the kids get older because I feel like some kids miss out.
Right.
You know, like you're just racing. I remember Easter egg hunts, and it's like
Stress-inducing.
It's kind of stress. You're like, you want to point the kid like there's more over here, but then another kid grabs it. I remember doing like giant Easter egg hunts as a kid,
Yeah.
like hundreds and hundreds of people. Where like you go to the park, and it was
Yeah.
just like they had a big one
Everywhere.
So I was concerned about my son, who's now 4.5. I was like, I feel like this is going to be stressful. I don't like this because 4-year-olds cry about everything,
Everything.
and they're sad about everything.
And if they don't get what the other person gets, someone...
And they're also very coordinated enough to see an egg and to run for an egg and to pick it up. However, their daycare solved the problem. And again, I hadn't put much thought into this,
Right.
but they have. They write the kids' names on the eggs, so you're just looking for your egg.
Your egg.
So they've taken what used to just be like a land grab.
Free-for-all capitalist adventure. Because that's what that is.
And now they've taken their resources, they split them up evenly.
This is a socialist
and
project.
every kid is so happy. Everyone's like, oh, I got my eggs and you got your eggs. Here, friend,
Right.
this egg is yours.
Right.
This egg has been allotted to you.
I found
how
your
many,
eggs.
Look how many eggs we have. There are plenty of eggs for everyone.
Right.
We can just share these eggs and everyone is happy.
We don't need one kid who's 6 inches taller than everyone else collecting 80% of the eggs.
Right.
While 2 small kids cry in the corner.
Or the one kid who got to start near the front of the line.
Right.
Everyone can't walk through the door at the same time,
Right.
Chuck.
And there's been a kid training. His mom has got him on a regimen.
I am only talking about Easter eggs.
Yes.
That's all.
But this can be extended
No.
into the everybody gets a trophy culture that, really dumb people hate.
Oh, that is true.
Really, that is, no, everyone should get a trophy. You should, if you are 6 years old, get something.
The Detroit Pistons should get a participated in the playoffs sticker.
Right. That's it. They got one.
The Orlando Magic, well, they won a game. They're the Southeastern
Magic.
Conference champions.
They have a banner.
I gotta say when the Southeastern Division,
sorry.
SEC overall. No, I thought of, because we're in Tennessee in the South, and we hear just the noise of college sports and the pride of the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
When the Magic beat the Raptors in Game 1,
That was a great game.
I was thinking, like, hey guys, Southeastern over everybody. This is
it's my Florida roots that had me rooting for him.
it is your Florida roots. Anyway, Chuck, did you have breakfast?
No, I ate an Adderall. Yeah, I'm flying out, and
Prescription only.
Yeah, it's prescribed. I'm flying today to Denver, seeing some friends, celebrating 420.
Wait, you were in Denver?
Oh yeah, my life's
last week.
I think
You didn't go to a game, right? No?
I couldn't. My sister
Couldn't make it work.
My sister was in town for a convention, so I ended up hanging out with her instead of going to a game. But yeah, I'm going. It's 420 there. I'll be smoking on that legal and having a good time, and then coming back to be a dad.
If you wanted to marry your girlfriend,
Right.
on
420
on Saturday, which is a weekend, it's a good day. Your 50-year anniversary would be 4/20/69.
Wow. I might have to pitch that.
Something to consider.
I might have to pitch that.
I stole that off Twitter. I'm sorry.
Oh no, there's
Person who I stole off Twitter.
I'm perfectly fine with repurposing that for my life.
Like, if someone says it in our Patreon only Slack chat, we own that.
Right? Yeah.
We can use anything you say or put in there. That's implicitly understood.
Right.
In the
No, it's
agreement
in
of
our.
supporting us.
You didn't see it on the Patreon
But
page.
I still feel some guilt about stealing just
Twitter. Oh no, I ideas are hard to keep to yourself, but like jokes, I don't want to.
Oh, ideas are hard to come up with. That's why we steal them. Right.
Yeah, jokes like that though. I can put that into my life, and it becomes reality. Art imitates life, imitating art.
Just from the years on this planet, I've learned life hack: steal. It's kind of easy,
right? The great ones steal.
I think you could shoplift a lot.
Oh, I do.
It's built into the price, right?
No, it's one of the what is my favorite thing to do. 5 o'clock, go through the drive-through at any McDonald's,
right?
And the drive-through's packed. You walk inside, the place is packed. If you walk in angry, stand right by the door and said, "You guys forgot 2 cheeseburgers in my bag," they will just hand you 2 cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
And that's just with authority. You just go in there and say, you guys forgot.
Stealing food is super easy.
So easy.
So my favorite place to eat, as most people know, is Chipotle.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a simple boy.
Simple kind of man.
They used to do their, I now order on my phone. What am I, stand in line like a schmuck? No. I order on my phone. It used to be they had the to-go orders behind the register. Mm-hmm. So you'd kind of cut in line. You'd kind of saunter near the register. I'm a taller guy, so a lot of times I would
dilly-dally.
Get kind of close to the person who's like, I'm just let this guy in right here. And that's also like white male privilege.
It is.
I understand. I can walk to the front of the line, and
right.
people are like, "Oh, let's let this guy in. He's kind of tall."
It's like an age thing too, because if I went when I was 17 and said, "You forgot my cheeseburgers," they'd have been like, "Get out of here, kid. Where's your receipt?" I look like an adult.
You also probably would have like a cigarette in your mouth. It is. You can't do that. No. But now, so the Chipotle to-go system, you now no longer have to go to the register. They put them on shelves just against the wall. It's a honor system. The to-go food from Chipotle is now an honor system.
Yeah.
There's just bags of food sitting against the wall.
Man.
There's no cameras in there.
Yeah.
Are there? Maybe there are. There probably are.
Perhaps.
But who's going to prosecute? Like, I grabbed the wrong bag.
Yeah. And who's going to stop you or I from walking into a hotel with a continental breakfast and just start eating?
Oh, real ones know that.
So no one's going to go, "Hey, buddy, did you get a room here?" Has you ever been asked that?
Can I see your card?
Can I see your room key?
Can I see your room key?
For these quarter waffles that we're selling you or giving to you.
I understand. I mean, some bit of stealing. You steal from John's told us many times his Kroger security guard stories. So just go. We sort of believe those stories.
Oh, Kroger with the self-checkout. When you're at a grocery store with a self-checkout and you get any produce and you pay for that produce actually.
Oh, also, you can put anything in your Kroger bag when you're doing self-checkout. And then it beeps. So it like please, you need assistance. You just turn to the Kroger system like, hey, this isn't working.
And
they just walk over and they're like, hey, you're good. Yeah. I just put that.
Yeah, I just put that 24 karat gold.
It's like somehow the sensor knows that I didn't pay for that watermelon.
Hey, we got somebody here with us, Johnny Burr.
John Burr.
How are you?
Here. John, did you have breakfast?
I did.
That's where we're at. What'd you have?
I went back on that grapefruit train.
Oh, all right.
Which I'm not supposed to have, but I just wanted one badly.
Why aren't you supposed to have the GF?
Oh, this sham scam diet tells you fruit's the mind killer.
Yeah, nobody has ever gotten fat from eating too much fruit.
I found a way. Been having grapefruit for breakfast for 30 years. Pretty sure I found a way.
Yeah, I'm
late night fruit eater, like a fruit bat, a fat fruit bat.
In Weight Watchers, they don't even tell you to count fruit.
Really?
That's not even points. They're like, eat as much fruit as you want. All the vegetables and fruit you want. You don't even have to.
The original sham diet.
It is. I mean, nobody.
I love them all equally.
Who got super fat eating way too many apples?
I don't know.
There's nobody's over.
Is this a subtweet? If you're asking me directly,
I don't know. Pigs.
They eat slop.
Apple cores. I don't know. My breakfast was iced coffee. That's
what Adderall is for me.
Oh yeah.
Iced coffee.
So talk to me about iced coffee versus hot coffee.
I would.
Pros and cons.
One has ice in it, and the other one is hot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There's like an acidic thing. It's less acidic.
Oh, you're talking about flavor?
You're talking about cold brew?
I'm talking about...
Yes, I think I'm trying to talk about cold brew.
It's a different game.
Okay,
you don't want to
see?
get that.
I don't know.
No. So, John, I will say I have been into coffee places. This doesn't happen as much anymore where they didn't do a cold brew. You order an iced coffee, and they put the hot coffee over ice.
Over ice.
Whoa. I will not be having that.
What are you doing? Just made tepid...
I do not want water coffee. Anyway, no, iced coffee does not make your body hot when you drink it like a hot liquid might. That's about it.
I'll drink iced coffee in the winter.
I love iced coffee.
I see more iced coffee than hot coffee now.
Yeah,
that's just your geography of living, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a southern thing.
It's like iced tea.
I got that sweet.
Anyway, after our breakfast, we should move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on any previous episode. It is frequently, the first time we talk about the NBA.
So I'm really sorry for being just so good at my prognostications.
Yeah?
I'm a pretty great prognosticator. I called the Magic winning game 1. I forgot to tell you how good I was.
Called the Thunder winning game 1 and 2.
I didn't.
You didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that. My gut told me to do it, but then my heart said Blazers. I didn't follow my gut on that one.
Your lungs said Blazers.
I followed the crowd on that one.
Let's not forget distant past. I told you Wayne Ellington was going to get the Pistons into the playoffs.
You did. He is 5 for 20 shooting so far in the playoffs.
Taking a giant.
That's probably still the best shooting percentage on the Pistons right now.
Luke Kennard actually is on fire.
Luke Kennard.
What's really discouraging for the Pistons as we get a little scattered? The Bucks have a lot of guys with some terrible shooting percentages.
Yeah.
Giannis is hitting under 50% of his free throws. I think Luke Kennard is 8 for 12 on three-pointers. And they've been hammered twice. The Pistons are getting smoked.
20-point
and
victories.
The Bucks aren't even really clicking.
The Bucks are figuring it out and winning by 20.
They're trying to do. But no, Chuck,
it's not fair to give the Bucks this warm-up round. It's not fair.
It really is. It's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It's the whatever boxcar.
Glass Joe.
Boxcar Joe. I like that.
Boxcar Joe.
Is that Martin Scorsese's first movie?
I think it is.
Yeah. Are you thinking, I saw this on Twitter again, is first round series should be best of 7 unless it's 3-0 and then you just call it.
Yeah.
You call the fight.
It's a mercy.
I know that's bad I know it's bad for the season ticket holders who of the lower seed who want to have those 2 home playoff games to try to resell them.
That's why we need a consolation bracket.
Yeah.
And that way the teams who made the playoffs can get 2 rounds, and it'll be fun. and you separate it with. I've never thought this through until the second I said consolation bracket. So
it's okay.
Any of the rules?
Slow down, Bill Simmons.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway,
it's an upside down pyramid.
I have two apologies. I mentioned one on the episode on Monday with Cassidy Hubbarth. Great episode. When all that, thank you, Chuck. When all that,
who is that?
Sorry, don't worry about
it.
John.
Just on TV.
When all the news broke last week while we were recording.
Yes, one of the greatest shows we've ever done.
I loved it.
We had a funeral. And then we had a cremation.
Messed it up. The Grizzlies have already messed it all up.
During that, we were confused about the wording. The weird John Hollinger is going to be a senior vice president. That was not a promotion. Mm-hmm. As much as the title might trick someone as simple as me into thinking it's a promotion. We were confused. He has not moved into more of a elevated role. He's kind of taking a side role. He's taking one of those sweet gigs where they're just like, go live in your hometown.
We'll
pay
bro.
you, and you can advise.
Go make
Let us know if we're doing poorly.
So I got that wrong. I also spectacularly got incorrect. I was watching the first half of that game 2 of Sixers Nets, and even though the game was going at a high pace and the points were a little bit up, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, Philadelphia really is struggling to score. It seems like they have to make so much effort to score on the Nets. I think this team's in trouble. Then I left my house.
Yeah.
Went to go play my Monday Night Frisbee.
That quarter.
Looked at my phone.
Yeah.
Please call it as everyone else you play with calls it ultimate.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
We're actually playing indoor, so we just say indoor.
Ooh.
We played some indoor.
You just
smoking that outdoor.
Yeah, but and here's the thing. I didn't go back and watch the quarter. I have no idea how in the world the Philadelphia 76ers scored 51 points in a quarter, but they unleashed on the Nets. And now,
more impressive.
I was sorry. The Sixers apparently not having trouble scoring.
More impressive than the Sixers' amazing quarter is the Pacers' dismal quarter, where they did not make a shot from 2. And that brings me to my apology. I'm sorry that we ever lavish praise upon Nate McMillan, because watching him coach this Pacers team is a chore.
I know you love dumping on Nate McMillan.
It's one of your favorite things.
I don't really. I mean, Dwayne Casey, yes. We were pretty nice.
You've apologized to Casey.
We were pretty nice to Nate McMillan this year. Nate McMillan is doing a very poor job right now.
I blame the players.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
What is
the players are actually like making him look better than he is. Like this stupid switching all the time crap they're doing only works because Miles Turner and DeMontis Sabonis are really, really, really good at it. And when they're not in the game, he's still going to do it, and they get abused. Yeah. When the team is missing literally every shot, to quit taking outside shots.
That's coaching.
Go attack the basket. You don't have to settle for you can run plays that aren't kick it out to 3.
The switching everything is fine. Defense is not losing the Pacers this series. Them choosing not to score at all is losing the series.
You don't choose not to score when you run flares over and over and over again, Keith. That is coaching, man. I'm sorry.
They lost Depot. They've got they're hamstrung without their best player, and they can't figure out. The playoffs slow down, and they don't have that one guy.
So they run a set over and over and over again. That is Bogdanovich to the left. Guess who cannot shoot with his left hand?
Wait, isn't he left-handed?
Guess who cannot go that way?
He can't. Bogdanovich.
I'm just saying, blaming Matt Moore's third-team All-NBA Bojan Bogdanovich for losing a playoff series. It's like, they're not a good offensive team.
No,
and that's never been Nate McMillan's calling card. But they've been in position to win these games if they don't go through these massive slumps. Which again, I guess some coaching, but I'm like, that's players. That's these dudes.
Yeah, and it's definitely
not. And the Celtics are a very good defensive team.
Also, I mean, maybe don't play Corey Joseph that much.
What are you gonna?
Maybe don't do that. Like,
I don't think they have options.
Maybe just don't play him. Like, I know he's pretty good at defense, but like,
it does seem like from what I missed some of game 1 of that series. It does seem like there could be a little more Tyreke Evans being used, because it seems like Tyreek's playing all right, despite being kind of a big letdown in the regular season.
I mean, Keith, I'm confident you're not watching these games, because if you would, I mean, the lineups he's rolling out, like, they're baffling.
Yeah.
And then, like, so Miles Turner he can shoot threes. We know this, and he's very confident shooting threes.
Yeah.
But when you run so few plays for him, they only takes 7 shots, and 5 of them are threes. What are you doing? Yeah. Give it to him inside. He can't. Aaron Baines is hurt.
Wait,
the only guy they have who can like body him down low, like he should be able to turn around and dunk on people.
So if you're coaching the Pacers, you're running Miles Turner post-ups.
I mean, I know that he's bad in the post, but like, get it to someone down low. Him heaving threes is not going to win the game.
Yeah, I think they're mismatched. I still think it's like they could that collapse in the fourth quarter, unbelievable non-cover by the Pacers.
Right,
they were. If you had Pacers plus 7.5, and it's like a tie ball game,
you're printing money.
14 seconds left, and you don't cover.
I mean, you can act like it didn't happen to me.
You can tell John's anger from where he's been betting.
Furious about that game.
I mean, Wes, I still think the Pacers are in this series. Like, the Celtics seem like a mess.
Well, so check it out. Like, the Celtics were. It's even more troubling, really, for the Celtics than you would. Like, the lengths the Pacers went to lose the game, are kind of mind blowing. Because honestly, the switching thing on Kyrie was working. He just kept making them over these insane, like, outstretched 7-footers fingertips. Like, Turner was doing a great job defending the basket. Like, a great job. And strangely, like, Terry Rozier was, like, turned into this, like, amazing get everyone involved point guard for long stretches. And then Kyrie, like, literally just couldn't miss. Like, it was like, how are these going in? And then that was one of the most insane, painful covers of my lifetime.
I was saying, that seemed like, I can't imagine blowing it that quickly and that spectacular.
I watched it through, like through my fingers at the end. Like, how can this? What the?
The Pacers, down 0-2 in this series, are plus 650 to rally.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it?
Don't do it.
All right, don't do it.
I mean, unless... but there are signs that, because, like, seriously, like, Doug McDermott can't keep shaving points or be...
Wes Matthews might keep shaving points. I don't know. The one that I was talking about, I was texting people, or I was putting also in our Slack, when the Sixers lost game 1, their series price went down to minus 180. I was like, seems like that's... You think the Sixers are going to lose to the Nets? And
well, I think a lot of that was people worried that Embiid was hurt.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But now they're already one win. They're back up to minus 380. Yeah. Anyway, those were our breakfast in bed apologies. Before we get to our steak and eggs best thing, we have a few listener submitted questions. The croissant? Questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that.
Feeling Minnesota asks, consider A, the current Clippers are infinitely more fun and likable than the CP3 Blake DeAndre Clippers. B, the CP3 Rockets have since become the most annoying team in the league when it comes to dynamics with officiating. And lastly, C, the Celtics locker room is stuck in a constant state of disarray and arguably would be better served with more of a player's coach and locker room manager. Here's the question.
That's some Derrick Rose level reading.
Is Doc Rivers incredibly underrated?
I feel like he's properly rated.
I think he's in the running for, like, you could make a plausible argument that's the coach of the year.
Yeah.
Or a realistic argument. He's not, I hated him and thought he got lucky into a championship with 3 great players.
Like Ubuntu?
I thought the Ubuntu stuff, like, you could have pitched. Tony Robbins could have coached that team, and they would have won a championship, I think.
Why are you just throwing Tony Robbins under the bus?
Because he's a tall guy who commands the room. That's think. And
he does look like he can hoop it up.
He probably can dunk.
You think John Tesh could have coached him? He's a tall guy.
Oh, yeah. Tesh would just come in with a saxophone. But, yeah, I used to think he was trash. And then he went to L.A. for a better team.
Don't forget, they had to strip him of his front office powers before he was going to ruin everything.
Right.
And then he was given the reins to buy the groceries. He couldn't do that. Now he's back to being a coach, and he took what is a mediocre roster similar to the Miami Heat and got them into the playoffs in the West. That's not a great roster. 2 rookies starting.
Landry Shamet says.
My response to this question, if I was at a press conference and I was like, say, Popovich.
What's the question?
I would have said, what? Because I can read this question.
There's far too many caveats.
Well, first of all, the caveat. A, the Clippers are infinitely more fun and likable than the CP3 Blake DeAndre. Lob City was incredibly
Lob
popular.
City was very
This is a very insular,
not likable.
like NBA hipster take. I mean, I agree with it. I love this.
You rather watch this than Blake Griffin
Clippers
dunk
team.
on people?
I hated the Lob City team, but that was just personality driven.
Yeah.
B,
fun to watch,
CP3
though.
Rockets are an annoying team. That's fine. I don't know what that has to do with Doc. I guess CP3 is not on the Clippers anymore.
Yeah.
And again,
I think the thesis of this question was, I hate Chris Paul.
Right, seems like it. But is Doc Rivers incredibly underrated? I would say absolutely not.
No.
He's too famous to ever be underrated.
And he will be
He won a Coach of the Year on the Magic when he started.
Right.
Then he won a title with the Celtics. As much as people like the three of us and other podcasters might be like, Doc's did a bad job in the Clippers or whatever.
No.
Like, he will never in his life, I think, be underrated.
He will be
and he's done
rated properly as
a Hall of Fame
whiny,
coach.
good coach.
Yeah, and he is
Hall of Fame
is killing it this season.
Right.
And he also now has
he might be a Hall of Fame.
He also now has 2 of the biggest comebacks in NBA history with the comeback on the Celtics in the finals, and then I think that was 24 points, and then this one, the 27-point, unbelievable
31 point.
Well, 31 point total. Yeah, excuse me. Yes, you're right.
Transitions nicely into our steak and eggs best of the week.
Well, let's wait. Let's keep hitting.
We got more
these,
questions.
These
Tom
croissants.
36
We got a lot of
Chambers
croissant
asks,
questionnaires.
Shout out Slack Daddy. What's the first thing you want Memphis's new management to do?
Not hire Rich Joe.
Coach, free agency plan, trade Conley.
So what do you want, John? Well, if you were Zach Kleiman, a 30-year-old wonderkind, put in charge of the Memphis Grizzlies basketball operations,
Essentially, I would want them
30.
to not do what they're doing, which is I would not like members of the Good Old Boy Network to just be installed.
You don't want a bunch of NBA centrists to be brought in.
I love this take. Keith, will you please explain?
Well, I was just saying, it's like, you just brought in. I don't know. It's not fleshed out, but it's just like you said, it's Good Old Boy Network. Yeah. These guys have had basketball jobs for many different places. Let's just bring in dudes who have jobs, whose resumes are like, okay, yeah, you did some stuff.
I honestly don't really remember Rich Cho's tenure with the Sonics and the Blazers that well. But as soon as the Grizzlies hired Rich Cho, I have a lot of family in Seattle. I just got text from my uncle's like, I just got a text from my uncle's just like, you're effed. He's terrible.
Well, I had so I play the fantasy basketball league I really care about is mainly Hornets fans, and in our little chat they were like, nice work. Here comes Jonas Valanciunas, 5-year, $120 million.
Right.
Yeah.
But Cho's not making the decisions.
Sure.
He's going to be a vice president. Chuck, do you know this? He has a food blog.
So
No
vice
way.
president essentially means like
It means
meaningless
nothing.
nobo.
Yeah. So he's going to.
How do I get? Can I be a vice
He's
president?
going to
please?
assist our new basketball guy. Again, this 30-year-old kid. I could call a 30-year-old kid.
He's a
a
kid.
decade younger than
He's a
me.
kid.
But
What's this?
the guy making the decisions. What? My age is the confusing
No,
part, or
I didn't know this.
We
person
hired
was-
a 30-year-old.
Zach Kleiman. Well, we didn't hire him because again, when the Grizzlies
Promoted him.
when the Grizzlies do things with the front office, they got to make sure you already have a key card. I think that was Chase.
They want to
Grizzlies
save.
fan
They
said
want to
that.
save that HR paperwork.
Right. They're like, oh yeah. So we hired Chris.
Hire with them.
We demoted. Again, not fired. We reassigned Chris Wallace. We reassigned John Hollinger, who is already employed, that has a photo ID, who we can give this job. And so Jason Wexler stepped to the forefront. Rich Kleiman. What do I want them to do? I guess come up with a long-term plan and maybe share it, or at least.
Well, I mean, like
promise you have a
specifically,
long-term
I would
plan?
hope we could. So I'm hoping Valanciunas like opts in
Yeah.
to avoid us doing something dumb contract-wise.
Yep.
So we can get specific. Let's get specific because I don't have any long-term solutions and don't really know how you fix a franchise like the Grizzlies. Let's get specific. I hope we make a prudent decision, R.E. Valanciunas, and don't, like, as Keith alluded to, give him some kind of insane contract right off the bat.
Yeah. Don't pay centers. That's one of my new tenants. Sorry, centers.
I hope we completely remake how we evaluate players via the draft.
Yep.
That would be something that the Grizzlies need to do immediately.
Honestly, I would hire a person I know, Cole Zwicker, and say, Cole, I've had you on the podcast several times, but more importantly than that, I've seen your draft boards from the last 2 years. You crush it.
Right.
Like, so far, it seems like you know what you're doing. I'd hire that guy just as an advisor.
We could do an all-podcast hiring.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Barry's the
Keith
coach.
Parrish.
Brent Barry's the coach.
We need to get Keith out the dungeon. I'd hire Keith Parrish as special assistant to Chris Wallace.
I would do that, man.
Yes, I
Just
would
crush
too.
it.
just go get his popcorn at LSU basketball
We
games.
should get we should get a billboard in Memphis that says "Hire Fast Break Breakfast."
Just Keith.
What could that cost?
Like $500.
$5,000?
$500 for a week.
Oh, $500
for a week.
for a week?
All we need is for one day for the picture that we put on our Twitter feed,
Good point.
That's a good.
and
point.
that's how you
excellent
become
point.
viral.
Then it lives. And actually, honestly, I bet we could pay someone like $40 to just Photoshop it.
Okay.
That's an excellent. God, this price tag getting lower. and
So
better.
easy.
Yeah, whoever. But shout out the dude from Twitter. Forget his name. HD something.
Oh, HH t-shirts.
T-shirts. Who made a really good Stackhouse of Pancakes shirt.
God bless.
I have a plan for Jerry Stackhouse, guys, and I think we all need to be involved in it. But it's basically a reveal where he gets this shirt, and we explain to him we've been making fun of him on the show for 5 years, even having him on the show, not telling him that we were making fun of him.
There's 3 of us. Can he kill us all?
Look, if he hits us, this podcast is underwritten for 10 years.
It's true.
We'll just put it all in. We'll buy new equipment,
But
rent
we'll
a
be
studio.
dead.
No, wait. One of us, I don't have to be a great fighter. I just have to be a better fighter than you two. And that's it. And I'll survive.
I don't know.
And it'll just be my podcast.
I
You
think
have a
I
very
can-
punchable face.
I think I can outrun
That-
John.
Fact.
No, you are. You are.
I feel like
this might
Chuck-
have
I
to
am a
happen.
tasty
I feel like
morsel.
Chuck would punch me right in the solar plexus and get a head start.
No, I'd definitely cheat. I'd hit you in the knee real quick and then push you into Stackhouse and run.
I don't. So,
John is fast, though. He's
That is-
surprising. I would
I actually am
actually
fast.
like to see you 2 foot race.
But I mean, I'm just not doing
we
well.
could do that for
That's a
Patreon.
I would get
Patreon.
hurt.
At
That
this-
race, I would get hurt.
The one time I saw John's dead sprint, his dog escaped out of the yard and he ran down the sidewalk. And
I've
it
been
was
compared
like,
to a Jesus lizard.
do you ever seen the lizard sidewalk?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
his legs go side to side. It's not like back and forth like a human. He's like very
I pick
reptilian.
up speed like a bag rolling down a hill.
I like it.
I no
Yeah.
longer try to start running fast because I pulled my hamstring a couple times, and I'm like, oh, I'm done with that.
You're that
Yeah.
scene from Game of Thrones or Neverending Story. You're a wish dragon.
To wrap up that question from Tom 36 Chambers, the Grizzlies are very confusing, and even as like a huge fan and
Yeah,
a
I mean, I'd
podcaster,
really-
I don't know what to do.
The Grizzlies, like being a fan of the Grizzlies, you're never like your options aren't ever anything like as a fan to do the right thing. Your options are never anything like intrinsically value oriented. Where you're like, yeah, look at this guy. If we play this guy, he does better in this situation. That's a really. It's always stuff like, man, we got to play Tony Allen more.
Well, so we've gotten to the point of Mike Conley's contract. There's now just 2 years left.
Right.
It used to be like, oh, this is going to be an albatross hanging on the franchise and on the salary cap. But now you're like, well, if they get a good draft pick, okay, I probably would rather have Mike Conley the 13th pick. There is something like maybe he's done. Maybe he likes the new ownership or the new whatever.
The
So
Grizzlies fans
I don't know what to do. I don't know
like
if I want
a
to trade
tornado
him.
chaser.
Yeah.
You're essentially Philip Seymour Hoffman from Twister.
There's a lot of rot in the organization. They have been able to draft well. They have been able. So the scouting department that needs to be over.
The free agency has been
Free
terrible.
agency.
The one we thought they nailed, Kyle Anderson, once again fell into the trap of every other Grizzlies free agent. He got hurt and played 40 games.
Retention's been a problem, and identifying talent on the team has been a problem. There are players that you guys let go that have turned into be great players. Ed Davis, for example. I mean, not great.
I like that you picked that one.
But, like-
what a random one. But yes, and Ed Davis, who walked for nothing and signed for minimum salary the rest of his career.
doing work in the playoffs this year.
Right, and he's looking good in the playoffs. And there's, so that kind of stuff, there has to be wholesale changes. And I don't think what has happened, this marginal, let's shift Chris Wallace here and let's put John Hollinger there. They need to fire everyone and start over.
I
That's
think they're
it.
kind of doing that. I'm hoping these reassignments.
They're really not.
They're not. It seems like they're
just
rearranging the
just
deck
promoting
chairs.
people from in, and they're
So two answers, Sam. Not what they're doing now.
Right. Try to bring in outside people who have never been inside the arena or have never been paid.
Hire Tony Allen.
Yep. Let's keep doing it. I like these croissant questions.
All right, we got another
rolling.
2 coming from Steak Tips Burgundy, a.k.a. Big Pun.
The Suburban Commando.
What is the NBA equivalent of the 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning collapse?
John, you are our hockey expert.
Okay,
Please
so
bring us up to speed.
This is complicated because while the Tampa Bay Lightning are a historically points-getting franchise, they shattered some records this year. 8 seeds in the true 8 seed in NHL playoffs is 7-1 in those series.
Yeah,
this always happens. Mm-hmm. So that muddies the waters.
That's so weird with NHL hockey. How the playoffs it just
it's a second season.
Yeah, and there's no
And what happens is a lot of times that 8 seed is so tuned from that battle to get in.
Right.
That it leads to this.
Yeah.
Well, so, again, my understanding based on... I had to Google this because everyone was talking about this.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Lightning had the most wins ever in the NHL in a regular season and then got swept out of the playoffs. They were winning game 1 3-0, blew that lead, and then got swept out of the playoffs.
Here's what I would say. This is a hypothetical that didn't happen.
Uh-huh.
But let's say the Lakers had made an amazing... had this season.
Which Lakers? This season's Lakers?
This season's Lakers had, instead of being they had LeBron and they used the rookies and they had rounded into shape as the season had come into, and they had snuck into that 8th seed. That's what it would have been like if the Lakers had been this machine if the Lakers had been what people thought they were going to be, a contender, and had snuck into the playoffs, because the Blue Jackets were supposed to be great, and they mortgaged the future of their franchise to be great now, and then through a combination of injury and honestly just half-assedness were terrible all year, and then woke up with a month later and were like, oh my God, we have to get into the playoffs.
Okay.
And they just played into shape, and were the best team by far the last month and a half of the season.
I think that something similar to that happened with the Nets. The Nets have been sharpening their blade. Every game had mattered, and they walked into Philly and tore them apart because
I don't see it.
That first game.
Okay.
Where they
but you're talking about
Philly.
This would have to be a really good team.
This honestly doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen in basketball. I'm saying it can happen for a game in a series.
Were the Lightning good the last couple years?
Yes.
Okay, so this was a natural progression. This is a very good team.
Yeah, they're the best team in hockey.
Okay.
This would be like the Warriors.
So would it be like the Warriors losing in the first round?
I would say it would be like the Warriors losing in the first round to
a team with potential,
an 8 seed. 8 seed is not the right.
Like if the Thunder fell to the 8 seed, but they still had Westbrook.
I wanted to say
George.
Thunder, but the Thunder were so bad. Who was really hot at the end of the season? Because the Nuggets were not.
The Orlando Magic,
the Magic, the Nets. Yeah, that's kind of.
They won games, but no one would ever call them hot.
Right.
See, the way the NBA works, where those that NBA April messes everything up. NBA April and March messes everything up. It messes up the way you look at it. So there's really not a comparison.
The Tampa Bay Lightning team account tweeted this. I've saved it in case I need these words ever in the future.
This scares me.
If you ever need to apologize, I'm going to say I can say I instead of we.
Okay, do it.
I don't have any words, and I know you don't want to hear them. I understand your anger. Your frustration, your sadness, everything you're feeling, I get it. This isn't the ending I imagined or we imagined, and it's certainly not the one you wanted, but thank you for being there the entire way. I'm going to write that and just save it. If I ever need it, I have it. I don't think I could come up with anything better.
Did you find that in your wife's notebook or something?
That is so good.
Isn't that so good?
That seems like poetry.
So
there's no way anyone in my life would find out the source material.
No,
they sure wouldn't.
All right, we got one.
Unless, obviously, I can't use that to break up with you guys now.
So Brandon, we're gonna say there's nothing. There's nothing like that.
We got one more question. This is from Lub Kebab 69. Shout out Ryan Darlin. This is primarily directed at Keith. top 5 Easter-themed candies.
I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah.
Peep it up. He has risen.
I have.
In his pants.
I have. That made me uncomfortable.
Christ. Boom.
I have done the research here.
Okay.
I thought hard about this. I don't want to get it wrong.
I only have one answer, so.
So what's your? Go ahead, John.
So I look
what's your favorite Easter candy?
It was, and I wasn't raised in a religious household, but would scam my way to other people's Easter things because I needed those Jelly Belly jelly beans.
So just Jelly Bellies. Does Jelly Belly have a Easter specific?
No, for me it was just
that's the time
I
you get
really
to have
thought
Jelly
they
Bellies.
were an Easter
Yeah,
candy
gotcha.
as a result.
Chuck, you Catholic? John,
Yeah.
you did Easter baskets and things. Or?
We
We used
that whole
to,
church thing, Val.
yeah, we would get the Easter basket, all that, with a big chocolate bunny in it, like a giant,
Right.
but really crappy chocolate.
Yeah, those are bad.
I can't stand Cadbury eggs.
The cream
Same.
eggs.
Get out.
I don't
of
like them. Yeah.
Me neither.
here.
Ooh, Unified Front here.
Unified Front. They have Reese's Pieces eggs.
Yeah.
Those were fire, but not as a kid. I got into those as an adult. Yeah, and then like the pastel colored M&Ms and stuff.
So here's my top 5. I can only come up with 4 that I thought were specific Easter.
Okay.
But my number 5 is Reese's Pieces Easter, the
Yeah,
eggs.
they're
Because
tight.
Reese's Pieces are like the only kind of chocolate candy I really love. I'm not a huge chocolate person. My sweet tooth is all the fruit flavored candy, the sour candies, that kind of thing. Number 4.
Did not know that.
Number 4, this is nostalgia based. Just the basic sweet tarts, but they were in the, I believe they're called the Chicks, Bunnies, and Ducks.
Yeah.
So they're in the Easter bunny shapes. Loved those. They're also some of the egg shaped.
Do you guys know about these because you have kids? I've never even heard of
No, I had these as a
Okay.
kid.
Yeah,
This was from childhood. My parents would do an Easter basket that normally had like sweet tarts and like a one Russell Stover type chocolate thing. That brings me to
Hollow bunny.
These next 3 are impeccable desserts. Probably 3 of my favorite desserts there are, or candies at least.
Okay.
Number 3, the classic Russell Stover Pectin jelly bean.
Pectin?
Not a bad flavor. Yeah, I don't know what pectin is.
Oh, it's like the chemical.
I think it's actually not a chemical.
Oh.
I think it has to do with fruit, but I don't know, and I'm not going to find out. The classic Russell Stover
out.
jelly bean, those are available year round, but again, they're intertwined with Easter to me. Chuck, you have pectin.
Pectin
definition?
is a soluble gelatinous polysaccharide that is present in ripe fruits and is extracted for use as a setting agent in jams and jellies.
Put that sludge in my veins.
Love it.
You guys remember when I couldn't read? What happened? I don't know. When did I learn to
I
read?
guess when it's
That was fast.
when it's food related, you can do it fine. Number 2, my top 2.
There was no pressure there.
My top 2 are recent additions.
Okay.
These are new candies.
This is what I came
in
here
the
for.
last few years. Number 2, this is big news. It's been unseated because this was my favorite candy, only available at Easter. Sweet tart jelly beans.
Ooh.
Sweet tart jelly beans are incredible.
So
Every
do you
flavor
even
is good.
like Jelly Bellies?
I like Jelly Bellies fine.
Okay.
Jelly Bellies have too many flavors I don't enjoy. I pick
Right.
through them. I don't like the butter popcorn
You
thing.
know how I feel about those.
You love a butter popcorn. And then number 1 is a brand new one. I think it's 2 years old or 3 years old. Is the Sweet Tart Sour Bunny Gummies. These are gummy. They're thick
Yeah.
gummies. The flavors impeccably good.
Okay, let me say real quick. This list is an outrage.
Okay, what do you got?
You didn't even mention those Robin Egg Whoppers.
Oh, the Whoppers
No, I
are
don't.
good.
That's a classic
It's
Those
good.
are fine.
Easter candy.
No, these are
only available at Easter.
I'm not
that for
naming-
some reason comes out of a milk carton. Why?
Yeah, that is weird.
That's a good question.
Why?
Everything else is in a bag.
Why is it in a milk carton?
Well, all Whoppers come in milk cartons, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Why?
I think the chocolate,
That's the croissant question.
It
That's
would
a
get
croissant
crushed
questionnaire.
if you didn't have a-
Boulder and
investigative.
Scully on this thing.
There is. I've just Googled some candy, Easter candy, and I found the most horrific thing. They're nerds.
Peeps
nerds.
Foul.
Nerds are called. These are Easter themed bumpy jelly beans.
Tried them. They're
Is
okay.
this some British?
Bumpy jelly
No
beans.
bumpies.
Bumpy
They're-
jelly bean. I once got some bumpy jelly beans when I came back from Guam.
Yeah. what you need is some Valtrex.
Every candy producer puts out numerous different kinds of jelly beans now because of sick people like me. I've tried almost every one.
Who's going to put the Christ back in Christmas and Easter and make some like Christ's blood, roll away the stone themed?
Why isn't there a roll away the stone Pez dispenser?
Yeah. It takes 3 days to open.
I want to eat Pontius Pilate's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite his head off, son.
I want
He
a
killed
chocolate
Christ.
Barabbas.
Yeah.
We should. You know what? I would if we all wanted to come up with a bunch of like biblically based Easter candies.
Right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
We could sell this for $1 billion.
We could do
the DeVos family would fund this
we could get it all
easily.
funded.
Anyway, those are our
Mary
croissant
Magdalene.
questionnaires. Listener submitted questions from our Patreon supporters. If you want to support the show and submit your own question, you could join for just $1 at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast.
One last thing. I just found out, you know those candy-covered almonds? You know what they're called? You know, they're sugar. They're
Almond
like
Joys?
No, they're these things.
Oh,
okay.
awful.
Do you know what they're called?
No.
Robin eggs.
Jordan almonds.
Oh.
Yeah. So a little
Jumpman,
pin
Jumpman.
there with Jumpman.
Okay.
Anyway,
You mean like Michael Jordan?
they're Jordan almonds. Yeah, like
DeAndre
Michael DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, so if you want to support the show,
Jordan Clarkson.
patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. Also, another way that supports the show, we talked about the Jerry Stackhouse, the iShop new T-shirt from HD T-shirts. You could buy
Look them
that
up. Oh, man.
I'm going to say the whole thing. TeePublic, teepublic.com/user/fastbreakbreakfast. And it's important because today on Thursday, we don't set the prices.
30% off.
35% off, John.
It's $13 for a
$13
shirt.
T-shirt. So you could get that Boban shirt. You've probably been eyeing it. Those Boban shirts are
Fire.
incredible.
Got one.
I guess I should go buy these shirts.
Yeah.
now.
Today's the
iShop.
day to do it because, again,
I can't. I just pay taxes. I can't buy anything.
Yeah, I just
yeah,
booked
Taxman came on Monday.
I just booked a weed vacation, so I'm out of
I hate
cash
you
for a minute.
guys.
So tpublic.com/user/fastbreakbreakfast. All our shirts, including the new Jerry Stackhouse iShop T-shirt, International
Chuck.
Stackhouse of Pancakes shirt for sale, Bobans, and the rest.
I have a croissant questionnaire for Chuck. Chuck, how stoned were you last night when we hung out?
Very.
Do you remember our discussion of how we were getting to the podcast today?
I said you might pick me up.
And I explained I could not pick you up.
Oh.
And then this morning, he started texting me about when you
remember.
picking me up, dog.
Yeah, I went.
was like,
to
I can't,
eat.
I have
it
to
wasn't
Uber.
stone. It was like my perfect level of
You
everything.
seemed at peace.
We went to Rolf and Daughters, which is a great restaurant. Bottle of wine, 2 Negronis,
Okay.
and Fernet, and then I went and drank beer and smoked a little Doja on the patio. Watched the Preds at Rosemary.
That'll do it. I also multiple shared many things in the Slack chat last night and then again this morning.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Oops.
Up top.
Did I share this? Yes, I did.
Daddy loves whiskey.
Whoopsie daisy. All right, let's move to our steak and eggs best thing. All right, steak and eggs, best thing. What's the best thing you saw in the last week? It can't be playoff related because we barely talked about them.
No, that's true.
The Grizzlies are no longer the worst.
Oh, yeah? And?
That glorious, by the way. I don't think you guys saw it either. Either of you witnessed it. That Clippers comeback knocks the Grizzlies out of the most humiliating playoff blown lead.
I didn't like that because of that big blown lead, I had to reopen those Grizzlies feelings.
Oh, okay.
Being at the game, driving home to Nashville right after the game.
Oh,
wow.
3-hour miserable ride. But yes, the Warriors now with the greatest blown second half.
I mean, it's
lead
as
ever.
bad as
Sham Landris Giljandris was incredible.
Sam Landry Gilexander.
Yes.
Yeah, no, these rookies are playing incredible minutes, hitting big shots. Doc's, they have no chance. I'm wrong. I had the Warriors sweeping them in the lock. What a great game. Pat Beverly yapping his way. If you get Kevin Durant
Pat
to
Beverly
get
trash all year.
ejected, even if you're with him, you win the game.
Trash all year has come back when it matters most
That's
to become
Pat.
an insane agitator.
That's Cadillac Bev right
So
there.
Living in Durant's head.
He is. He pays no rent, and he's got prime real estate in that dude's skull.
It's cheapest real estate in the Bay Area.
No
It is
kidding.
right now.
That comeback, I think, much like the Warriors, I also stopped paying attention when it was a 31-point game.
Right.
I tuned back in when it was like an 8-point game. I was like, "What?"
Oh, so you didn't get back in?
No, I missed it.
I went to bed.
I was awake for the end.
Oh, okay.
I saw the end. Chris Vernon pointed this out, and it's completely correct. So Kevin Durant in that game took 8 shots, had 9 turnovers.
Yeah.
And they're the 1 seed. They blew a 31-point lead. If LeBron James had done that, the world would have melted from the heat of the takes and the reactions. But it seems like he got off kind of scot-free.
Here's how bad it was. When he fouls out, I'm like, oh, man, Clippers aren't going to come back and win because now Steph is going to shoot and the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, when Durant was out, like, when Durant leaves the game, I'm like, oh, crap, the Warriors are going to win. That's not a feeling I'm supposed to have.
Do you know what feel I get with this team? It's like 05, 04 Lakers. It's like they have the talent. They've been there. They're going through the motions, but the dinner's over. They're just waiting on the check. And that's not how you get to your 3rd championship.
You know how the Round Ball Rock guys brought this up. You know how like Kobe would have the thing where he would refuse to shoot?
Yeah.
They think Durant is doing some of that, but that actually makes the Warriors better. They think Durant's like, you know what, guys, I'm not going to shoot. And it's like, that backfires because it works great because Steph Curry is, amazing.
Yeah. Durant has this wonderful position where no one on the team and no one in the league really thinks he's better than Steph. I think we all kind of know it, but no one. It's not the art.
Were you say that again? You were saying
he's not better than Steph. Like he is. He doesn't have top billing on the marquee. Is what I'm saying.
I think the majority of NBA fans think Durant is better.
I think
I don't know.
I think he is better. I think he isn't looked upon with the same.
I think that's a great conversation topic. Who knows?
Right. That sounds like a YouTube channel
What's the Family Feud?
I feel like that's a litmus test for
Who's
me.
the best player on the Warriors?
Right.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a litmus test question for me.
And they're
like, do you know what you're talking about?
But as far as that doesn't matter. What matters is he doesn't get the blame for a 31-point loss.
Right.
But along the line, he's not going to get credit for being the leader of this team if they do manage to get 3 championships. It's going to tarnish a little bit his bona fides.
Man, that series, frankly, and I'll use it in the traditional donkey sense of the word, the ass off between Draymond Green and Pat Beverly is nuts. Man, it is just like
it's stirring the pot.
Like but they don't wait possessions. It's like, oh my God, Pat Beverly just tried to hurt someone and is now screaming in Kevin Durant's face. Very next play, oh my God, Draymond Green just had the worst flop I've ever seen, and then gets up and celebrates the flop as if he just dunked on someone. Mm-hmm. These are consecutive plays.
I know people know I'm team ref. Just try to imagine having to officiate that.
I know.
Imagine trying to decide how many fouls you call when Pat Beverly just wraps up Kevin Durant on every single play. Yeah. And then they're falling all over each other. They're diving into legs. You're like, do I call flagrant? Do I call technical? What? It's such an unbelievably difficult job.
Kevin Durant doesn't foul out of games.
Yeah, not normally.
He got fouled out of a game through the chutzpah of one player.
Chutzpah.
I mean,
chutzpah sounds.
And remember, Patrick Beverly couldn't get on the court this year because he sucked.
Well, he was also coming back from that injury.
This is proof of and this is something that I kind of took a dump on. The second season, the different season for guys like Iguodala. Throw Patrick Beverly on that list of players who suddenly have more merit in the second season.
The Ariza factor.
I mean, Beverly also carried my iShop team for the first half of the season, and the second half of the season he's been much better. But he's really feeling it. My best thing is I thought my beautiful sweet nuggets, were really going to be gone. We're gonna.
They should have been.
I mean, they might be gone as it is.
There have been some amazing third quarters,
but Jamal Murray specifically was 8 for 30 on the series going into the fourth quarter with this team about to fall down 0-2 at home, and he went off 8 for 9 field goals, had 21 points in the fourth quarter alone, was unbelievably on fire, saved the series, honestly saved the first round for me. I really would have checked out second round.
And he was the reason they were dead too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Will Barton and him were taking all the blame. Everyone's saying, like, maybe don't even play Jamal Murray. Just leave Monte Morrison, leave Malik Beasley in. But Mike Malone, man, he went back with his guy, his Jamal Murray guy, not his Will Barton guy. And he went back with Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray saved the Nuggets season for now. I still think that matchup is a very much toss-up.
Yeah.
It looks tough. It's very hard to take the Nuggets right now.
Yeah, I don't
like against it, like any team. Like say right now you're like, okay, Nuggets are playing the Suns tomorrow. Nuggets are 9.5-point favorites. Keith, who you got?
That's you're too much of a doubter there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I take the points. I think the Suns keep it close.
Chuck, what's your best thing?
My best thing was we were talking about that 31-point victory that come from behind. And how it feels like there's really a big chance for someone other than the Warriors to get a championship.
I'm not feeling this.
I think 538 has the Warriors as 44% chance to win the finals,
which is good money.
The loss of Boogie Cousins, I think
huge.
Matters. I like to make my
probably the real worst
I like to make my Boogie jokes, but I do think he would be useful. In a lot of the games.
So for you, Keith.
Yeah,
net positive.
Net positive.
I don't know.
Could be. I feel so bad for Boogie, but I do think maybe the Warriors are better off without him. It's possible.
My thing is now I just don't know. Like, I've been waiting for playoff Boogie for 12 years, it seems like now, and I finally get it for a quarter or half.
Chuck, counterpoint. That come from behind loss. It may galvanize them and make them more powerful than ever.
You could go that narrative route.
It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. They've been struck down and have become more powerful than you can imagine.
No,
Check out Klay Thompson's post-game interview.
Yeah, it may have slapped the life into him. It may have been like, okay, guys, it's time to stop messing around. But
exactly,
it just seems like there's the little things in his body language and stuff. You saw that Tiger Woods, Steph Curry's golf swing 3-point corner shot.
That's awesome.
And Kevin Durant was just standing there with just indifferent. Like, it was fun and cool and funny. He didn't crack a smile.
No.
And it was part of the understanding of the team, concept is if you can't watch your homeboy do that, he's not your homeboy. If he didn't smile at that, he's just a professional.
So let me set it up for those who don't know. It's Steph Curry's doing like a silly Tiger Woods dance before draining a three, before walking to the tunnel, and Kevin Durant's sitting right next to him, and Kevin Durant just the sheer disdain for Steph's antics. He's had enough of it.
He behaved like he wasn't there. Not only he wasn't there, but he was doing something funny. Steph is like a little brother who's just like, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have fun, and I don't care if you're a jerk. This is my floor. This is my house, and I'm going to have fun with it.
But to me, this was more like if you embarrass your dad, and then your dad just whoops that ass. Like, you can't embarrass your dad, and I feel like the Warriors got a little embarrassed.
Yeah, they showed their butt.
Yeah. So, but as Chuck, as you were saying, maybe not being as confident in the Warriors. That's the boat I'm in.
Yeah,
that's the boat I'm in. It's not just the blown lead. But
it's little
I don't know if they're ready.
So I'm curious,
little things.
Because there's two candidates to beat the Warriors, I feel.
Bucks
and the Rockets. Who do you feel has a better chance then?
Well, I think the Bucks have an easier. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
either.
the Rockets and the Warriors are definitely playing.
So before the playoffs started, I thought the Bucks or the Raptors could give the Warriors all they could handle.
I didn't even count the Raptors. Yeah, I guess we should.
The Raptors losing game one, kind of reignited all those
yeah.
It's too bad they don't have Mike Conley instead of Kyle Lowry type things. But I think that the Rockets before game two against the Jazz, the Rockets were I think plus 800 to win the title. That seems like a good value.
Yeah.
Because I think the Rockets are really good, and I have difficulty trusting the Warriors not having a bench really. And again, I always cite what if Iguodala gets banged up, which he's done in a couple other playoff series. Maybe I'm incorrect in thinking that's like a possible issue, but
it does help the Rockets' case that Quinn Snyder's being an idiot. No, we'll get to that in my worst.
Oh man,
we'll get to that in my worst. Sorry, coaches, it's happening. I've come for you all. And it's just a nightmare, like an extreme nightmare matchup for the Jazz.
As of right now, the Bucks are plus 475 to win the title. The Rockets are plus 675. The Raptors are plus 1200, 12-1. The Warriors still minus 210. I do think the Bucks and the Rockets could beat the Warriors so far, but maybe I'm just overreacting to being shaken out of my Deadwood 3-time or 4-time rewatch to have to watch the end of
before
Warriors.
You rewatch Deadwood.
Uh-huh.
I need for you to take a night off from daddom.
Yep.
Take a night off from Super NBA fandom.
Yep.
Need you to go see Ian McShane as Hellboy's dad in the new movie Hellboy.
Really?
That has gotten a lot of word of mouth of being a catastrophic nightmare. Did you enjoy it?
It's like a Tale of Two Cities thing where like the first half of the movie you're like, this is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, and then the second half of the movie, including the ending, especially the Ian McShane scenes, amongst the worst ever filmed. So Ian McShane spends the end of the movie.
Please, no spoiler. I will enjoy this.
As a snot monster with his disembodied head that he clearly filmed in like a closet with much disdain, and his last line being, "Love ya, Hellboy."
I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of that catastrophic worst film ever made type reactions.
While we're talking about films and Quinn Snyder, he should be played by Robert Patrick in whatever movie. He looks like T-1000.
T-1000? Oh.
If he got a high and tight, he's got that menacing Terminator look.
I need him to turn his arm into a blade and shiv himself when he thinks about sitting Donovan Mitchell for long periods of time.
Well, those are our steak and eggs. The opposite of the steak and eggs is the cream of wheat. Worst thing. What's the worst thing you got from the last week of the playoffs?
I'm already talking about it. Let's keep it going.
Yep.
Quinn Snyder, you can't bench your best player because of foul trouble in the second quarter and hope to win. Blink and you're down by 1 million points because you, sir, did that.
I thought you were going to say just the weird let James Harden get to the basket every single time.
The vaunted defensive adjustment that you've decided to make has resulted in James Harden either scoring on you or making. James Harden has an assist rate of 50%.
It's good.
He is either scoring or assisting on almost every single Rockets basketball.
I know. I know. Like the numbers on points per shot say you need to get Harden to shoot a floater. Like that is that's the best case scenario. It's something like 0.9 points per shot. But everything you let James Harden do is just a nightmare for your defense. I don't know. Some of it is the Jazz also can't hit shots, so it's exacerbating the lack of being able to stop the Rockets at all.
Yeah.
A lot of the role players, Jay Crowder specifically, Thabo Cephalosha,
there was a stretch,
not hitting any shots.
There was a stretch where Royce O'Neal finally hit a three, and I think they had missed like 11 in a row at that point. And you just saw like Quinn Snyder, the relief on his face when Royce O'Neal hit a three, and then literally they kept it on Snyder, and he mouthed the words, "Finally, F-bomb."
That's better than the old lip reading of like Billy Donovan a couple years ago.
Well, I think they're going to end up being like, can't play Gobert. Can't play Gobert.
Can't play Cantor. But you think Gobert's going there? I don't know. It does seem like Favors it does a little bit better at the center.
Much better.
But those guys have to hit shots. Donovan Mitchell, who I've drank the Kool-Aid on, and I've been, kind of disappointed. The beginning of the season, I was disappointed. He came on, but a lot of it against bad teams with his massive
Is this
stuff.
Gobert thing a bad matchup, or do you think like playoff basketball, the big center swatter shot blocker is it?
I mean, it's just one of those,
anymore?
Can you be Defensive Player of the Year if any guard or most guards can really expose you if you get out on the perimeter? Like if you really can't switch out to guard the perimeter, like they're just trying to get him isolated on like Eric Gordon. And if Eric Gordon is going to blow past,
I think it's a very interesting conversation to have because I do lean towards the unplayability of a guy like Gobert on a really good team.
Mm-hmm. And he's so awesome
matchup
for regular season basketball.
Right. Like he can't he's going to expose on pick and rolls. It's same as Whiteside. These guys aren't built for this modern triple pick and roll NBA where they're end up covering a point guard on the perimeter. And I think that might be the way the NBA is changing now. You're not going to have these guys be as important for playoff basketball.
I feel like he's also so easy to game plan for as a presence on offense.
Right.
Like what he does makes it to where Donovan Mitchell pretty much has to do the one-man show thing because the offense is so stagnant.
And it's been funny to watch players kind of like Kenneth Faried comes into mind where he was just dominant and then the game changed
right.
and he couldn't do the things that were required. Like he was on the freaking Olympic team. And
Roy
now,
Hibbert was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
And now the game changed so fast in so few years that you can't really play Kenneth Faried because he can't cover anybody but a
Don't
power
Rockets
forward
for that 10 games this year.
But I mean, so you have looking at.
Are you just looking at the Jazz's roster and laughing? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, through 2 games, Donovan Mitchell shooting 32%. Joe Ingles is shooting 33%. Jay Crowder shooting 16%. Thabo Cephalosha is shooting 11%. I mean, 1 for 9. But Kyle Korver has barely played. Like, he hasn't hit a shot yet. So, like, if they're not going to hit any shots, that's rough. Like, you know, it doesn't matter how much, like, oh, yeah, like, their defensive scheme is getting picked apart. They're going to get picked apart by James Harden, I think, no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
They just have
can't
to
stop
shots.
That's what I mean. When we talked about this series, we knew James Harden wasn't going to be stopped, and we asked ourselves, where do the Jazz get buckets? And the answer is from no one.
Jazz -3 in Game 3, if you're a betting man.
That's interesting.
I'd be too scared, but...
It's that altitude, though.
Yeah, my worst thing. Speaking of not hitting shots, I feel bad for Russ Westbrook, and I don't like how it makes me feel.
What?
I feel bad for him.
What?
He's been
Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. What?
Yeah, he's been struggling. The Thunder have been struggling. I'm happy for all our Blazer boys out there. You know, I like the Trailblazers. I'm cheering for them. But
are you, Keith?
Russ is struggling so bad that I'm actually starting to feel a little bad for him. All these people citing like Russ's playoff record without Durant. I'm starting to feel a little sympathy. Like,
I feel bad.
Poor
You
guy.
should feel bad for Paul George. He's hurt.
Yeah, he that shoulder. Yeah, I think
he got that slow-mo shoulder.
But I mean,
he is LeBroning it up though, coming out with all the wraps on the shoulder and stuff
But
afterwards,
here's
and
the
the
thing.
ice bags. And
I know he's got the shoulder, but I've seen playoff pee before. And that playoff pee does not smell good.
Asparagus.
But
pea.
you know, they say that old cliche: series don't start till somebody loses at home.
That's right.
And Portland's won their 2 at home, like they're supposed to.
It does suck that. So I'm rooting Blazers so hard, and I'm so thrilled with the first 2 games. But if there was a series that you were like, one of these teams is going to come roaring back and win, this would be the series you pick, right?
Yeah.
You want to? You anybody want to guess the odds
What?
of Thunder winning the series? The Vegas odds as of today on the Bovada
Plus 500.
5, yeah, 450.
Not you. Way over, dudes. Way
What?
over.
Plus 1.
Plus 175.
What?
The Blazers are only minus 210 to win this series.
That is horrifying.
2-0.
Put that in perspective. That's what the Dubs are to win everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this does seem like the series. Again, the Thunder were the favorite coming into the series. The Trailblazers have taken care of business on their home
They did what
court.
they're supposed to. And Boston, too.
That's kind of a sort of a double-edged thing because they're trying to entice you to put money somewhere.
Right.
So that's kind of makes me feel a
But
little
I
better.
could see, if we had to pick one, I could see the Pacers rounding out at home for a game, getting some confidence, and maybe being able to score buckets against.
You mean the Thunder?
No, I'm talking about the Pacers. You said a team that could come back, raring to come back from behind. I think the Pacers could too. I just think
That's why the Pacers that plus 650 or whatever it was.
and that they lost.
The Celtics have looked so bad again.
The Celtics
admittedly,
looked bad. They were on the
The
road.
first half of the first game.
The Pacers played on the road, and those young kids were going to have some butterflies. One of the next 2 games, the Pacers are definitely going to whoop the Celtics. Call it.
The Pacers in the Jazz scenario is so similar to me because I just don't understand where the scoring comes from.
Yeah.
And like being able for the Celtics to be like, hey, Jalen, just play defense, don't worry about offense, and being a complete antagonist. We're seeing a lot of role. So the good coaches are taking some of their players and giving them roles and telling them to do stuff.
Right.
And then the bad coaches are like, I'm just going to play this like regular season basketball. Oh, he has too many fouls. I'll pull him. Okay, keep shooting that corner 3. Eventually, statistically, it's going to go in. No, it's not.
Well, and McMillan did that last year famously.
No, it's not.
Where he pulled Oladipo with foul trouble.
Yeah, don't do
and
that.
It's like, what are you doing?
Adjust your game plan to the high intensity, high pressure scenarios. Put the guys like Pat Beverly out there who you know can fulfill a role. Change. Brad Stevens, I'm going to take this guy who usually I'm trying to get 20 points out of. I'm going to direct him to simply terrorize the other team on defense.
Chuck, did you do your worst thing? Do you have to leave? I can't remember.
I have to leave.
Chuck has to go get in an airplane.
I have to go fly to Denver.
It's okay. We tagged in.
Tagged in,
this
tag
is like
out.
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express. Chuck's in trouble. I'm standing there holding the tag team rope. Can you hear it?
There they go.
That's the hot tag.
I'd rather be Marty Jannetty.
Oh, man. Marty Jannetty is not doing well. Marty Jannetty has a drug
Chuck,
problem
your
that's
headphones
so
are still
bad.
on. Don't knock over the entire apparatus. Sorry.
Marty
There we
Jannetty
go.
has a drug problem so bad that he was reunited with his long-lost daughter after he found out that he may or may not have slept with this wrestling groupie woman who may have been his daughter. So this
Why
can't
do you
happen
think
to
I got
you.
a paternity test?
That's right.
I learned from Marty Jannetty.
All right, well, let's move.
If that makes me Shawn Michaels, I'm upset and thrilled.
Have fun, Chuck.
Hands off the merchandise.
John, let's move to the awards segment of the program, the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award.
How many Thunder and Jasmine are on this?
Well, so here's the thing. Those guys split up a lot of the missed shots.
Okay.
So we
one
have
guy.
a few honorable mentions. Kyle Lowry, 0 for 7. Marcus Morris, 0 for 8. Jay Crowder, 1 for 9. Ish Smith, 3 for 13. Danilo Gallinari, 4 for 14. Donovan Mitchell, 5 for 19. Those are just the honorable mentions. And again, I wasn't sure if you were here earlier. Wayne Ellington is shooting 5 for 20 in the playoffs. Not great.
I was.
So
close.
Our 3 nominees, as they occurred chronologically through the playoffs. Will Barton. No, this is not chronologically. Never mind.
I was about to
Will
say,
Barton, 1 for 10. 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 personal fouls in a win against the Spurs. Nick Vucevic. Nick Vucevic does not like playing the Raptors.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
I called that one, baby.
Marc Gasol is not letting Nick Vucevic do anything.
What did we
My
say?
boy.
What did we say?
I know. Hey, Magic got the split.
What did we
because
say?
Marc Gasol screwed up that pick and roll with Kawhi Leonard and let DJ Augustine continue his amazing first game. We could have apologized to DJ Augustine for the entire world. Everyone in the universe who said the Magic need a point guard as DJ Augustine ripped through the Raptors. But Nick Vucevic is a nominee. He was 3 for 14 in game 2, 11 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. He also made me lose money for the first time this playoffs on draft.
Oh.
I had Nick Vucevic in like 4 of them.
What?
So,
Keith.
well, I mean, I did 7.
Keith.
I had 4. I don't know. I thought
That
it
is
fine.
an astounding lack of belief in yourself after we talked about this.
Anyway, Marc Gasol ripped him to pieces, but the box score was 3 for 14. And then finally, Russ Westbrook, almost a triple-double, but 5 for 20, 14 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 steal, 6 turnovers, 4 personal fouls. So we got Will Barton, 1 for 10, 3 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Vucevic, 3 for 14, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, a turnover, a foul. And then Westbrook with the 5 for 20, 14 points, 11 assists, 9 boards, a steal, 6 turnovers.
You traded in a Chevy for a shark attack. Give me the Vucci main.
Vucci main. Yeah, I guess.
It's poor.
I was really leaning Westbrook. I mean, 5 for 20, 6 turnovers on its own.
Horrendous.
Pretty spectacular. 14 points, 11 boards, 9 rebounds.
Yep. Can't do it.
I might need to flip a coin. I'm going to say, what do you want? You want heads for Vucevic or tails? John is flipping
Heads,
an actual American currency quarter. It has hit the table. It has bounced. It has bounced on the floor. It's on the
Second quarter. We're on quarter 2.
It's going to let it bounce on the table.
Heads it is.
Heads it is for Vucevic.
Vucci main.
Vucci man, congratulations. You are this week's International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award winner.
Buy a shirt.
Buy a shirt. tpublic.com/user/fast break breakfast. Everything on sale today.
While you're there, get a coffee cup. Get a hoodie.
I do have a fast break breakfast coffee cup, and I adore it.
I have multiple. Don't drink coffee. Still love them.
Yeah.
You can put other beverages in a coffee
You
cup.
could also put coins like they are on this podcasting table right now. For some reason, we have coffee cups full of coins.
Absolutely.
Why? No idea. Anyway, John, par fadeaway. We got the playoffs. You got playoff hockey for the Preds.
Not for much longer.
Is it over? Poor Preds not doing great.
Feels bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A lot of bad feelings. Hey, it's okay. I'm really enjoying the NBA playoffs thus far. A lot of things that I didn't think were going to happen have happened. So I'm Sixers Nuggets. That's me.
Yeah, you like the Sixers and the Nuggets.
I'm wearing my Sixers
shirt.
You're
wearing your Joel Embiid shirt right now.
But I didn't have the balls or the temerity to take them outright and be like, they're going to get upset in the first round. But I have had this doom and gloom feeling that they're both going to get upset in the first round. So I've been filled with dread.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, I now only think that the Nuggets will be upset in the first round.
Right.
I'm kind of halfway chipper.
I kind of poo-pooed any of the upset talk a lot of people were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was completely wrong. I mean, I just thought the Nuggets were such a more talented team.
You're kind of not wrong,
but I'm so biased.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that explosion, I think the Nuggets lose that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
So I watched that whole game.
Gary Harris had a great game, so maybe there were other paths to victory, but it didn't feel like it.
To continue my assassination of every coach that I sort of don't like,
right.
Mike Malone is being bailed out by bad decisions. Malik Beasley and Monte Morris should be getting more play.
I don't know. The Nuggets, their roster is just the makeup. I don't know how you fit all the players in who I feel like are playing pretty well. Like Beasley, like Will Barton struggled, but he's still
sit Will Barton.
I think he does
sit
an important job, and their starting five with Will Barton is great.
Yeah,
so
but Will Barton's the type of player who, when he gets cold, the answer is to just turn the faucet off.
Yeah,
this isn't hard.
But then maybe you lose them. I don't know. My parfait away is seeing which these game threes will any of the O2 teams, especially like the Thunder. Will the Thunder lash out, strike back? Like, will they get back in the series?
I think the answer will reveal the playoff P thing you alluded to before. Does he have the fire to do this?
Yeah. Will the Pacers at home, get back in the series?
And the Blazers aren't going to fold. If you're watching the Blazers series, it's guys like Mo Harkless and guys. I mean,
I'm in love with Mo Harkless.
This is huge. The fact that they were able to be okay, the first game, this is an Enes Kanter anomaly.
Yeah.
Second game, Enes Kanter does nothing.
Yeah.
And they win again. That's huge. Finding different ways to win is how playoff series are won.
Yeah. Yeah. Also in those 1-1s, I mean, I guess it's just obvious and doesn't need to be said, but I can say it. These game threes are huge. No. Will the Magic make a homestand? Will the Nets make a homestand? Will the teams that stole a game on the road, or the higher seeds that lost, will they come out and seize that home court back? So just exciting stuff. This first round has been great so far, especially with the Warriors losing. My Stone Cold locks are a mess. I thought these series would be short, and early returns are maybe not. They still could, I guess, fall apart. But it's been great stuff, and so excited to keep watching. I will put off my Deadwood rewatch, I guess, probably a couple more days. That's not true. I'll probably watch some after the games are over tonight. Anyway, if you want to support the program, you can do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. If you want to come over to draft and play playoff draft with me, man, I won 4 days out of 5. Just barely lost on day 5.
Quit playing Vucci Main.
I thought he would put up enough stats.
No.
Nothing. You got owned. Draft.com/fastbreak. Use our code FASTBREAK. You get a free $3 on there. I love this app. I'm not even kidding. Play it every single day. Draft.com/fastbreak. Use our code FASTBREAK. Buy that t-shirt. You know the URL by now. You can follow us on Twitter at FastBreakBreak and on Facebook and on Instagram. All right. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fast break, man. You understand?